And I remember one of the last active duty training missions I flew in an F-16. I strapped it to this jet and cranked up the engine, and I noticed the jet was shorted 500 pounds of fuel. Enough to cut that 1-hour mission short by 5 eternal minutes. And I would be at a disadvantage with less fuel. And I was ticked off. And I knew there were 500 reasons why the jet may have been shorted, a little bit of air in the tank, an anomaly in the gauge, but I didn't care about any of those reasons. All I knew was that young 24-year-old kid right out of tech training, whose job it was to fuel that jet, probably messed up. And I chewed him out, shared some choice words that I won't share with you fine people, and I went out and flew that jet, came back an hour or so later, taxied into the hangar feeling like King Kong. We beat the heck out of the enemy. And I watched as my commander was waiting for me on the tarmac by the jet. And he said, "Waldo, I heard about your conversation with you and your young crew chief." I said, "Yeah, so?" He's like, "You know how long that young kid was working on your jet today? You know what he went through?" I said, "Of course I do, sir." He said, "No, you don't. You don't know a damn thing. I want you to go find your oldest, ugliest, dirtiest flight suit and put it on tomorrow morning and walk the flight line with these young kids to see what they go through every single day so that you could do the coolest job in the world and fly the F-16. I said, "Yes, sir." I saluted and went about my business and got up at the crack of dawn the next morning and walked the flight line with these young kids and did inspections on the intake of that F-16 in 105-degree weather, just like this young lady's doing. Never worked so hard in my life. And quite frankly, I didn't have a clue what these kids did, and I didn't care. I was the captain. They worked for me. I was cocky, had a huge ego, and was not a wingman. And then I went up to that young guy and I shook his hands and I said, "Thanks for what you do." And then I did something that I hope would shift the conversation. I said, "I'm sorry for going off on you. And I'll work on being a better wingman." And I worked on building that relationship, that trust, that loyalty, one handshake at a time. And quite frankly, I don't know if I ever got that kid's trust back. Trust, tough to gain, easy to lose. So here's my challenge for you, folks. Whose flight line do you need to walk? Who are the unsung heroes who are out there in the trenches turning the wrenches so that you could go out there to take on the competition, to grow, learn, adapt, find the good that your wingmen are doing, and fill their jets with the most important fuel of performance, appreciation.